Alright guys, this is Yash again, and today we're going to talk about should you retake the GRE and what are the right circumstances under which you would think of actually retaking it, and should you even retake it if you are in, like, what kind of circumstances you are facing, and accordingly should you retake it or not. Alright, so I'm going to talk about like four major points over here. The first is like the one second. The first is the university you are targeting. All right. So the university you are targeting. Well, if you are targeting a university that accepts a score of 315 even, like I said in my previous tutorials, how to shortlist universities, please go and watch that if you haven't. But if you are, because accordingly you will know what I'm talking about over here. So you'll know how to target universities from there. And if your targeted university accepts a score of 315 and you have like 312, 313, well, I don't think you should go do it, because first of all you'll be spending a lot of money and a lot of preparation time on this thing, and even with the GRE you cannot take it again for like the 21 days that you have to wait, because well, they have this policy that if you have given it today then you must wait 21 more days before you can actually appear for another exam basically. So that is definitely one of the criteria. Again, if you are anywhere above 325 and you're watching this video, I think you should just close this tab down. This video is not for you, because you have no need to retake the GRE for me. I mean, even with your level of preparation, if you're already getting 325 and you want a 330, that's fine. I understand that, but it's just really, really hard going from that 325 to 330. And in other case where you have to go from 300 to 315, it's much, much more easier. So if you're considering that, I definitely don't recommend that. Again, it's up to you, but that's my advice for you guys. Again, first you have the university you are targeting. This is important because you, like I told you, just create this spreadsheet with your deadlines and everything. Requirements should have whatever you're targeting. So basically, the class profile, the GRE score of the people who are actually going in, the average of all of these scores, just maintain this. This will be really helpful for you. Okay. Next is your mock scores. All right. So how I used to note my mock scores is like this. Actually, I used to have these tests, and I used to have these, dates, quantitative, verbal, AWA. Even though I mostly never really noted it, and I mostly never really attempted it. So like, I actually got like a 4.5 on my final day, but that's fine. Uh, Again, you need to like make sure that you're actually noting your progress. So you can see that I started with somewhere around 315 or an average of 317, and that was back in January 2018, and I took it to like 329 on my final exam here. This is my final exam, the one named Doomsday. So it was actually a great, great improvement, and I had never really, thought I would improve this much. But tracking is very important. So if you have tracked your scores, that's great. If you haven't, that's still fine. Just make sure that you track them from now on. This is very important. You need to know how you're improving, or if you are improving at all. Also, you need to make sure that you have some mock scores to test yourself. So if you have given the GRE recently and you're looking at this video and you have like taken only one or two tests out of these, or maybe even four or five, you can just refer to these tests and check out how many I have given, and basically see that there are more tests out for you. So like just take one of these names and then attempt these. You have mock tests, just so you know. There's a lot of them, probably even more I could have found, but I didn't need them. But there's a lot more than I've mentioned. You can actually use these, right? So if your mock scores you think are going up, you should definitely retake the GRE. You should try and practice for some days and retake the GRE. Again, if you want me to make a separate video on how to actually improve when you kind of think you've stuck a plateau, please let me know in the comments below. I don't think anyone needs it, but if you do, but definitely let me know about it. I have some really good tips for you on that. Again, next thing that you should consider, that's number 3, is the time remaining. So let's suppose that you're applying for fall 2019, and it's August right now, so you have September, October, November. That's 3 months, right, for the early deadlines even. So, well, you have 3 months of time right now. You should definitely take it if you are watching it in August or something, maybe even September. Okay, but don't do it if you have less than 2 months, is what I recommend, because you're gonna have to take at least 1 month for your SOP and everything. You need to make a lot of preparations, your transcripts, your statement of purpose, even LORs. Some professors request you to, give your input on those. So even you need to give your professors a lot of time as well. So I wouldn't really recommend doing it at the last moment. Like, at least don't do it in the last 1 month. I would really recommend don't. Okay, some people really do that. They kind of retake it. But if your score is anywhere above 315, I don't recommend doing that. However, if you have time, if you have more than 2 months or 3 months, that's the optimal time. Take it, retake it. You know, give your best preparation. Take 1 month, prepare, and then give it again. That's gonna help you out a lot, maybe, if you do get a good score. And make sure that you prepare the right way. Again, I'm just repeating this, but you need to let me know if you need some tips on that, how to prepare when you're like, kind of feeling like you've hit a plateau. Okay, like you're not leveling up anymore. Okay, so that's the other factor, time remaining. And finally, you need to also analyze the material you have left. So supposingly, if you've gotten like 315, and you know oh, by the way, one more thing, I kind of forgot